Hello friends, hi, my name is Ram. Thank you for coming on my channel and welcome to you. So today we are going to discuss about the NFS server. What is NFS server and where do we use the NFS server? So NFS server is just a network file system, just like on the Linux server if we have any file systems, right? So that is on the local host, but the NFS it will be available on the network. That means we can get the available file system over the networks from the one server to another server, just like it's enable system administrator to share all the portion of the file system or a specific portion of the file system on a network server to make it accessible from a remote computer. Just like we will have the servers, and from that server we have a file system. So if we want to share that file system to another systems, we can use the NFS protocol or the NFS configuration or functionality in order to share that file system with the other client servers. So NFS protocols works on the port number 2049, and NFS is widely used by many organizations. So just like with the file servers to share their file system to the client systems. So this is the basic introduction about the NFS servers. So just like this is the client server architecture, so how NFS server works. So just like we have one of the NFS server, which is this 10.0.0.0.1 IP address, and we have 4 NFS client servers, 1, 2 and 3, 4. So what we can do that just like we have one of the file system on this NFS server, just like the /NFS share is a mount point or the file system available on this server, and we want to share this on these 4 servers. So what we can do, we can use the NFS functionality and we can share that file system on these client servers. So all the users available on the clients can access that file system with the client's NFS system. Next, when we come to the NFS server configuration, so there are a lot of requirements we have to fulfill. So just like there are 8 steps we have to do. Just like install the required NFS package if already not installed on the servers, and that the package name is NFS-utils. After installing the NFS, what we have to do, we have to enable the service at the boot time. So whenever the system reboots or it's come up, so our service will be get automatically start. After that, the third step would be the start the NFS service and check the status of NFS service. So there is a command, so systemctl status NFS -server. So based on that we can check the services. We will do in a later part as a practical thing. So after that we have started the NFS service. Just we have to create a directory or a file system what we want to share with the client systems. And after creating that file system, what we have to export that directory by making configuration in /etc export configuration file. After making the configuration, we will show you how we can do. So we can export the share by executing the command export fs-r command. It will export all the configuration of the directory we have mentioned in the etc export configuration file. And after doing that, what we have to do on the NFS server, we have to restart the NFS services. So we can do that using the systemctl restart NFS-server. Once we have completed all these things on the NFS servers, we have to make some configuration on the client side. So what we have to do is we have to install the required package, just like the server NFS-utils, and we have to create a mount point directory where we will mount the shared file system. And after creating the mount point, what we have to use the mount command to mount exported file system, right? And once it is temporarily mounted successfully, what we have to do, we have to update the etc fstep file to mount the permanent mount the NFS here at the boot time. So this is the basic configuration of the NFS client, and let's get started with the practical things. So what we have to do, we have to we have right now we have two servers. One is the client server, this is the client, and this is the server. So let's first check on this whether we have the NFS util or not. So the NFS we can check. So just like we don't have to, so first we have to install the NFS util package, and we are going to do same on the both system. We have to do so yum-y, you can use the yum command since I have already the repository installed, so it will install all the packages just like the on this. Just like I have this NFS util, this is already there. Now what we have to do is we have to enable the NFS services, NFS-server. This is the service name I have enabled. Just like the, if you want to see whether it is enabled or not, use the is enabled command, so it will show you the service is enabled or not. And if you want the status of the service, so it will showing that the service is up and running fine. So now what we have to do, just like the, we have to check whether which file system we want to share, and just like the let me create a directory which I want to share with the another systems, right? So just like the NFS share. Okay, so the directory is already there, NFS share. Okay, so after that what we have to do, we have to come to the etc export files, and we have to make the entries just like the NFS share star rw sync no discuss with these parameters we have to mention. And once I have created these entries, what we have to do, we have to run a command export fs-r command. So it will, or you can also restart the NFS service, just like the NFS service. So it will show, and if you want to see whether the what all mount points are being shared using the NFS, then you can use the show mount-e command. So it show the export list for the NFS servers, just like the, and from the client server, for what before we mount, we have to check whether we are connecting with the, or we are able to connect with the NFS server or not. So this is the IP address of this server, NFS server, and let me telnet with the port number 2049. So just like as we can see on the screen, we are able to connect with the network 2049 network ports. So this means that we are able to connect, or we are reaching to this NFS server successfully. So next on this part, what we have successfully configured the things, and now we have to come to the client part. So already on the, if we see on the client server, so we have already installed the NFS utils. So and now we have to make a mount point, just like the mkdir / NFS share mount. So what we have to do, we have to run the mount command, mount-t. T stands for the types NFS, and the, what we have to do, we have to use the IP address of, or the, just like the, if you are using the DNS, then you can also use the domain name, but we are using the /NFS share and NFS share mount. So just like the we can see here, this already it has been shared on this. I was shared or created the earlier, so it is there. I can umount /mnt, so it will not show any more further. So if you can see here, this is already this share is already coming from these servers, and all the details or the whatever would be on this directory, right? So that will be available to the NFS share mount point here as well. Just like the mkdir jkh, I have created here the directory jkh. Then if I go here /NFS share, so we can also see here the directory available here, and if I touch any file here, right, so I can see also the same here as well. So this is the successful. And before we moving on this part, so just like if I see, right, so what we have to do, just like we have done the client configuration, and we have already, but before concluding this video, we have to consider some certain things before we doing something on the client servers, right? How the things is happens and all this that. So generally what happens is sometimes while configuring the NFS server and client, we forget to enable the bypass or the allowing the firewall port, right, to 0. So what we have to do, we have to check the firewall status, and if the firewall is running, then we have to make sure that the port 2049 and NFS protocol is already allowed, so we can communicate. So as here we have seen that we are successfully able to do telnet on this, so we don't had any OS firewall running on. And also we have to check on the security groups if entries, if we are configuring the servers or NFS on the AWS, and the firewall entries on the GCP if our servers are on that. So this is the NFS servers, and thank you for watching my video, and thanks so much for watching my video. Please share, make comment and subscribe for our channel for the more practical video and support me. Have a nice time. Bye bye.